All right, guys, welcome back to Living the Newcomb Life. I'm Jerry, this is Dawn, and we're going to do a quick midweek video for you guys. We've been promising you guys to do a full garden tour, and that's what we're going to do. So let's get to it.
Okay guys, so our daily routine kind of starts with coming out on our deck. We have a few plants that we have up on the deck here. All of the tomatoes that we will show you today, we started from seeds, except this tomato plant right here. This tomato plant we bought at Lowe's, I believe. And it is a determinate, which means it's only going to get so big and it's only going to have so many tomatoes on it. And as you can see, it's doing very well. We have tomatoes already set on here. We have about, I don't know, there's about 6 or 7, I think there's 6 tomatoes set on the determinate. The others are ones that we grew. We have blossoms on them. Each day when we come out, we kind of check them to make sure whether they have any suckers on them, and the suckers grow kind of in the crook of the main stem. And on this plant, I don't see any. So if you come over here, so right here, I don't know if you can see that, right in the crook of the tomato right here is a sucker. And so if we just take it and pinch it, and we have a little sucker. So we kind of try to check this every day to stay ahead of it, because they will grow very fast and kind of take over your plant, and your plant will get very bushy. So then there's probably going to be a couple suckers there, but we'll let that go. So if we come over here, I really need to take care of my strawberries here, but we have already picked a batch of strawberries off of here, and as you can see, we have plenty more that are ready to be picked. Although we had to put bird netting around this, as you can see, something's gotten on here, probably a squirrel, because the squirrels and the birds were getting into my strawberries and having a little treat. So we have bird netting around there right now to try to keep the animals out of the strawberries, and I cannot wait because it looks like we might have some dessert tonight. So on to the backyard, down the steps. So here we have our radishes. In all honesty, the radishes are not doing that great this year. It's not to say that we don't have any. We put 3 different types in this bin. We have ping pong, giant, and white radishes. We have a few of each type, but they're not as plentiful as we had hoped this year. So we may go ahead and put in another batch of radishes to kind of make up for it. But we do have a couple that, mostly the giants, are coming through. Like there's one right here, you can see. We had to put bird netting on these as well because the birds decided, and the squirrels decided to get in there and have a field day. So we have some netting on those as well. So this is our jalapeno, and as you can see, we have plenty of jalapenos coming in and lots of blooms ready to set fruit. So I think we're going to have quite a jalapeno harvest this year. Looking forward to some salsa. So this is our cherry tomato, and as you can see, we just try to check it for suckers to see. There's some little tiny ones there. Again, like I said, if we keep ahead of it, then it doesn't get overwhelming. Now, as you can see, here's the trellis And each day we kind of try to come along and wrap it around a little bit more, just to give the plant a little bit of support, because it starts to get top heavy and then it'll start to lay over. So these trellises just kind of keep the plant going upwards instead of feeling like it needs to fall over. But as you can see, the base of the tomato plants is nice and hardy and doing well. This is our Roma tomato, and again, we don't have any fruit on any of these tomatoes yet, but it's just a matter of days. You can see there's lots of blossoms on here. There's a bunch on here. So it's just a matter of time. We just need to check for little suckers to make sure we don't have anything growing in places that it doesn't need to grow. Again, we'll just take this and kind of wrap it around the main stem of the plant just to give it a little bit more support. And we have 2 in this particular pot or grow bucket. So just give it a little twist. And as you can see, this is our beefsteak tomatoes. We have 2 of those here. And you can see they have plenty of blossoms on them, doing very well. Have some more that just popped out up here. Just give it a little twist just to give it a little bit more support. And then our last one here is looking pretty good. Don't see any suckers, so we look good. This is our sweet pepper, a sweet banana pepper. And as you can see, there are plenty little blossoms on here, and actually we have a little tiny pepper starting right there. So a couple weeks, and oh, and there's another one back here. So a couple weeks and we should have some sweet peppers. We have
right there.
Oh, we sure do. We have another one there. We had one of our green peppers that was a very, very late bloomer. And for the longest time, we did not think this little guy would survive. But Jerry has been babying this one along, and we've got a little plant here. So we're just gonna keep giving it a little TLC and see how it goes. Moving on, this is our carrots. They're not doing so great. I do have to say that each day we come out here, it seems like there's 1 or 2 more carrots that are popping up, but they've been really slow to germinate this year. So we're not exactly sure if we did something wrong, or if the birds got into them before we got the bird netting up, or what exactly happened.
I knew going into this that carrots were really going to be a challenge, but we have been able to grow carrots in the past. So if any of you guys know a secret how to grow carrots, leave it in the comments below. I'm very anxious to find out, because we want to grow carrots. We probably planted maybe close to like 175 seeds in here, and you can see that, what is it, how many did we count? Like,
there's probably 20
maybe
in there.
20 carrots actually germinated. Now I planted them like 1/16 of an inch, like barely below the surface, like it said. Kept it watered and moist, and I did all of the right stuff that I thought that I was doing. Obviously I probably did something wrong, or maybe I just got a batch of bad seeds. I really don't know, but I'll be really anxious to find out if you guys have any secrets or, you know, tips or anything like that, because I'd really like to grow some carrots, so let me know.
Okay, so moving on, we have our beets that Ren and I planted. I think Jenna helped too on this batch, and they're looking pretty good. And then these are our turnips, and they're looking pretty good. The bases of the turnips look really, really good, and actually I'm not even sure at what point we'll pick the turnips, but because this is the first time we've ever grown them. But they're looking fantastic. So then so we have 2 more tomatoes over here, and these 2 are in grow bags. And we put up cages this past week around them because they're getting so tall they need some kind of support. And we don't have the trellising like we have over there around these tomatoes. So we put up our old tomato cages around these just to give them some support. And they seem to be doing pretty good. Again, we are going to look for any suckers that may have grown since yesterday, and they look good. This one looks good as well, and you can see we have some little blossoms getting ready to come out, so those look really good. Now these, because they're not self-watering like the rest of the buckets over there, these tend to need watering a whole lot more than the rest, but they seem to be doing good. They're just about probably the same size as all the ones over there, so they're doing great. We just have to make sure that we water them daily. So then if you want to come around here, we can go into our garden. Jerry built me this nice little gate on my garden so that I can get in without having to crawl over the fence. It's fantastic. So come on into the garden. So as you can see, we have squash. We have 2 squash plants that you saw us plant. And this is our flat garden, which I have to tell you has been amazing this year. Literally, the biggest weeds we've had have been this big, and literally you can pull them out just super easy, and they're right around the base of the plant. There's like 1 or 2 here and there. It's been worry-free and fantastic, and it's great to not have to, like, even if it's a little been a little wet, you don't get all muddy when you walk in the garden, yet the water goes right through the landscaping fabric. It has been fantastic. I definitely recommend the flat garden with the landscape fabric. So we have 2 squash plants, and you can see we have lots of squash down in here. And so just a couple more, probably a week or a week and a half, and we'll be having squash for dinner. So coming down here, these are our zucchini plants, and we have a couple of zucchini, as you can see down here. And I would guess probably another week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and we should have some zucchini. So that's very exciting.
Yep. So I'm going to interrupt again. Just to let you guys know, we need to prune our squash and our zucchini plants. So stand by for that video. That'll be a little bit later on. But we promised you guys that we would do a full walkthrough of our garden. So we really wanted to make sure that we did that for you.
Okay, so if you come over here, I'm going to walk through the garden. We have our zucchini, I'm sorry, not our zucchini, our broccoli and our
Cauliflower.
Oh, sorry about that. Broccoli and cauliflower. They really haven't done a whole lot just yet, but we're kind of hoping that pretty soon they're going to take off. I mean, the plants look good, but we're still waiting for them to do their thing. So, but they're looking good. We did have a little bit of an issue with some little caterpillar worms. We put some stuff on them, and we don't seem to be having too much problem now. But you can see there's some holes in some of the leaves of the brassicas. So, and then on to our cucumbers, which are looking fantastic. They have really taken off. We come out each day and we see if they need to be kind of interwoven through the cattle panel, just to keep them up so that air can get around them, so that the bees can get in and pollinate all the flowers. I don't know if you can see it, but there are gazillion flowers throughout here.
Hey Dawn, show them. There's a pretty good sized cucumber, at least bigger than the rest.
So there's one here.
Yeah.
Which is one type of cucumber. I believe this is the Beet Alpha type of cucumber. And then there is, well, you can see here,
Yep.
There's a whole bunch of baby cucumbers, but there's also a pretty good size one here. And this is obviously one of the pickling cucumbers, so I don't know. So we had, I think it was Calypso and
The
gherkin.
gherkins, yeah, the gherkins are over there.
And so we have, this is a gherkin. I'm thinking that possibly that is also a gherkin because they look similar, but it could be another type. And then we have two just regular green pepper varieties here that they're a little bit slower to go along, but they're looking fantastic. They look very healthy and are coming right along. So over here along the fence in the grow bags we have cauliflower.
No, cabbage.
Cabbage, cauliflower, cabbage, which seems to be going a little slow. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if it's doing what it's supposed to do. This is the first time we've ever grown it. So if you have any advice for us, we would love to hear your advice. We love cabbage, so that's why we decided to grow it this year. And hopefully you might have some advice to help us have a better crop next year. So, but we'll keep you up to date. Maybe it'll take off and all of a sudden we'll get cabbage. And this is our spaghetti squash. It has recently just exploded. It is doing very well and going everywhere. We actually had a beef eater hanging up right here that apparently in the wind or the rain or some of this crazy weather that we've had, it broke and kind of came down into our spaghetti squash, almost like, because it has a plate on the bottom, almost like chopped off one of the spaghetti squash here. So we're not sure. It's this guy here. So we're not sure if it's going to survive or not, but so far it seems to be doing okay. So we have, you know, you can see here all the new growth on the spaghetti squash. So it's looking really good. And then moving on here, this is our peas. And really excited, look, we have peas. So, and plenty of blossoms that are going to be peas. So we're just hoping that we give it a couple more days and we'll have enough. Maybe we can do just a, you know, like a dinner, or maybe I'll just blanch them and freeze them. That way we'll have them to put all together to make enough for us to have a meal. So guys, that's pretty much our garden tour. This is what we do each day. We come out here, we find the things that need to be done, just the quick things. Fortunately, with the landscaping fabric, we don't have to do much weeding, so that gives us time to actually enjoy our garden. So thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate you supporting our channel, and thanks for subscribing. We'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.